Have you seen Star Wars?
One of the best things about Star Wars for the past 2 years is getting The Mandalorian at the end of the year, and after 2 seasons releasing in 2019 and 2020, a lot of us were hoping to see Season 3 in late 2021. But with a new production update, we may now know when we will likely see Season 3 of The Mandalorian series. A new report from Production List says that The Mandalorian Season 3 is set to begin filming in Los Angeles, California on April 5th of this year. Season 2 of The Mandalorian began filming in early October of 2019, and then they finished production early 2020 for March. The season then premiered on Disney Plus in October, a little over a year after it began filming. So if we apply the basic same time frame to the show's next season, which is Season 3, if we use April 2021 as a production start date, maybe, just maybe, we will see Mandalorian Season 3 in April of 2022. The main reason it seems that we have a delay is because The Mandalorian Season 3 is being filmed right after Book of Boba Fett wraps, and that is a new show that's coming out later this year in December, and some people speculated that Book of Boba Fett was actually Season 3 of The Mandalorian, but Jon Favreau did clarify in an interview saying that it's actually separate from The Mandalorian Season 3. So we do have a lot of Star Wars shows and series to look forward to in the future, and a lot of that is in thanks to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni because of what they started with The Mandalorian. The new live-action shows have basically changed what we can expect to see in the future of Star Wars. There are now 3 shows that are technically spin-offs from The Mandalorian. The first one we're going to see is The Book of Boba Fett this year in December, and the other 2 shows are the Ahsoka Tano series and Rangers of the New Republic, and all 3 of those shows have Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as executive producers and writers. I think right now Dave Filoni is the only one who's writing the Ahsoka series. I don't know what Jon will be doing story-wise with that, but because of Jon and Dave now have separate shows on their plates, they have like 4 to deal with, it makes sense that The Mandalorian is going to change its release dates going forward. Still, I think April is not a bad release date for Season 3 in 2022. If the Book of Boba Fett releases in December of 2021, then we're going to have maybe 4 months at the most that we won't have any new Star Wars content. That's if Mando releases in April 2022. But I also think that maybe we'll get the Cassian Andor series in January, and it's 12 episodes long, so that means it could possibly end in March, and if the Mando Season 3 starts in early April, then we're not missing a beat. It would be the first time we have year-round Star Wars content that would start in 2022 when you start off the year with the Cassian Andor series, then in the middle of the year we have the Mandalorian Season 3, and then to wrap up the year we would get the Kenobi series as well. So it seems like 2021, the year that we're in right now, will be kind of a rest year for Star Wars before we launch into year-round content from 2022 going forward. Season 3 of The Mandalorian has been in the works since probably April of 2020, so by the time production starts, Jon and Dave would have developed the story for at least a year that we know of. With the Book of Boba Fett coming later this year, we can start seeing how they plan on tying all these stories together. There's also reports saying that the Mandalorian story will run into the mid-2020s, so there seems to be a plan for all the new shows that follow the same overarching story, and a lot of fans are speculating that this is going to lead into something like Heir to the Empire, because Lars Mikkelsen has just been casted as Thrawn recently, so that means we may see Din Djarin run into him eventually. We may see a reboot or an adaptation of Heir to the Empire, the famous expanded universe books that a lot of us kind of want to see played out. We also want to see Thrawn return, so if that happens and it all starts because of The Mandalorian, I think that's going to say Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni made a really, really good story, because a lot of us love Mandalorian so far. Giancarlo Esposito, who plays Moff Gideon, said that Season 3 is where we start to get some real answers for The Mandalorian, and after Season 2, a lot of us have questions on what's going to happen next. I mean, there were the clones that we ran into, Moff Gideon himself, he seems to be captured, but if he's the overall villain, what's he going to do in Seasons 3 and 4? Are we going to see Thrawn in The Mandalorian? What's going to happen with the Darksaber? What's going to happen with Grogu and Luke? There's a lot of questions for Star Wars going forward when it comes to these stories, and how we're going to use The Mandalorian to tie into Rangers of the New Republic, Book of Boba Fett, and the Ahsoka series, but it seems like it's all connecting in some way to Thrawn. I think a lot of us are excited to see what happens. But tell me your thoughts below. If you like this video, please leave a like or a comment, because it does help out the channel. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.